I am proud to be over 50% Italian, 40% German, and the 10%, the rest, I don't know. It's just a hodgepodge of different things. But I'm also proud to be 100% American. My mom was a Napolitan. That's someone who is from Naples, Italy. And she came to the United States in 1965 to get married and fulfill the American dream. Now, my mom was the oldest girl in a family of 9 kids. And she had to quit school at a pretty early age, probably about first grade or so. And she was working and taking care of her younger siblings. And so she really didn't have a chance to go to school, but she did have a chance to meet many Americans. And she loved Americans. And when she would hear them talk about the country, she thought it was a land flowing with milk and honey. And in some ways it is. So through a friend of a friend of a friend of the family, she found out about a guy who was looking for an Italian wife. Who wouldn't want an Italian wife, right? Or an Italian anybody. They're good looking, they can cook, and they're just wonderful people. And so she came here to get married. The marriage was not so good. It was not the American dream. My father was abusive to my mom. And so me and my sister were born, but at the age of 5 or so, we moved back to Italy, where her family is from. And we were homeless. Now, not living under a bridge type of homeless, but we didn't have our own place to stay. We were moving back and forth from different relatives and living with them. And that was kind of what our lives were like. And we were really poor. I didn't know it. I had plenty of meatballs to eat. Meatballs are great. There's no such thing as a bad meatball in Italy. We ended up moving to Norfolk, Virginia, where I started in 2nd grade and my sister started in 1st grade. And occasionally, when we would complain about school, my Italian mom would say, "Jimmy," she liked to call me Jimmy. Everybody called me Jimmy growing up. "Jimmy, you no complain about the school and no more. My only wish was to go to school and I no get to go to school." So sometimes I still complained, but her message sunk in about the importance of schooling and how needed that was. So little Jimmy grew up and became James and joined the Army, married his high school sweetheart. And it took me 12 years, but I finished my bachelor's degree. It was hard. It was difficult to do that while being a father and working full time, but I'm so glad that I pursued an education. And at the age of 45 is when I got my master's degree, much later than most people do who get that degree. But out of those 4 kids, I had a son who ended up going to Yale. And all of my kids had various forms of education. Some completed a formal education, some got more of an informal education. And you know, America has its flaws, but the American dream and the possibilities that are available to anybody here are pretty much endless. They're limited only by you. So we work on trying to fix those flaws, but we realize how fortunate and blessed we are. Even though the land's not flowing with milk and honey, we can make it be a land flowing with milk and honey. I would like to give you my free book that tells you a little bit more about my story. It's called Sad Boy, Joyful Man. And if you look in the show notes, you will find the link to get that book and the code to enter to get that book for absolutely free.